Hello everyone, Assalamualaikum. This is Bizina for Education Raleigh and I'm 10 years old and today I'm back with another interview with Dr. Virginia Rivera. Hello, how are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm also good. Thank you so much. So, can you introduce yourself and share your entrepreneurial journey?
Can you repeat? Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, I'm asking that. Can you please introduce yourself and share your entrepreneurial journey?
Wow. Okay. So I have been an entrepreneur all my life, pretty much. So early on, when I was 18, I had my first company. At 21, I bought my first building and invested in real estate. At 23, I had my first child. And only way that a woman could get ahead and also lead on her own terms. So since then, I have also worked with other corporations. I've worked with big Fortune 500 companies, and I have brought my entrepreneurial spirit into those companies in order to be very successful. I worked for companies such as Kraft, which is a very recognized brand in America. I also worked with Starbucks, which is a global company. And in every single one of those opportunities, I was able to become an entrepreneur even when working for other people. So I have always said that the best way to get ahead, the best way to create wealth as a woman is by having your own business.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing this. So, what inspired you to found Major Emprende Latina?
So Mujer Emprende Latina is actually in English, it would be Women Undertake in Latin America. And it means that women, it's an organization that helps women open businesses. We provide the entrepreneurial education, we provide them the mentorship, we provide them the germination process, and we also provide seed capital. So we've been open for 10 years, and we impact Puerto Rico, which is a small island in the Caribbean, other islands in the Caribbean like Dominican Republic, and the United States, and mostly in cities that have Latina women. We're also in Peru, we're in Colombia, and now we are in India.
I'm also from India. That's so great to know. I'm also from India.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Can I also get this
Yes. So,
opportunity?
so I went to India in 2023 to receive an award for Mujer Emprende Latina. And when I went there, I went with a very open mind and I really wanted to see what opportunities India has to offer.
Making down.
India is the most populated country in the world, so it means that it have probably the largest demographic to work. So it has the largest workforce. Um, in India, you can find anything and you can make anything. And the truth is that the work ethic
Yes.
is remarkable. People love to work. They take work very seriously. Also very smart, and the majority of people that I have met are very well educated. So India became a great fertile ground for me to grow. And since I went to India, I joined a major corporation there, and I have various social impact initiatives like Mahila Udyami, which is Mahila Udyami is Mujer Emprende in Hindi. We were able to translate Mujer Emprende, and something that we do differently in my organizations is that we don't see women as intervention. We don't see women as charity. We don't see women as weak. We see women as infrastructure. So we believe that countries and governments need to invest in women led businesses because women are like roads, women are like energy. We invest in infrastructure to grow our company. So our countries need to invest in women just like they would do in anything else. Once you think about this, it's a mind shift. You no longer feel sorry for women. You no longer feel that you have to give charity. On the contrary, every cent that's invested in a woman, 90% of that goes back to her community. So it is very different from the way men invest their money. When you pay a woman, 90% of that goes to her community. When you pay a man, only 15% goes to his community. So it's a very different way to see the world. In other words, if every woman was given the tools that men have to become entrepreneurs or be successful in their professional careers, our GDP as a global unit would grow 28 trillion. So that is pretty amazing when you think of how important women are and how important women are as infrastructure for any country that wants to grow their economy.
Okay, thank you so much for thank you so much for your wonderful answer. And what are the biggest challenge women face in business today?
So, one thing we need to remember is that our economy is built on systems, and these systems were not built with women in mind. So, we have systems that we're working in that were not built for us. So, it is up to women to build the system, it's up to women to shape the system. So, the majority of women face harassment at work because they may have to step out, take care of their families. They face healthcare issues because they not only work at their job, they also come home and work 8, 9 hours again without getting paid. Um, Women continue to face healthcare issues because we never put ourselves first. We don't put our bodies and our mind, our well being, as a priority. We're always taking care of others. So if you think about this, out of 10 care situations, 8 of those will go to women. Women take care of the children, women take care of the elderly, women take care of the home, women take care of everything. So it is really challenging for a woman to work in today's world because the systems were not made for her. So we need to rebuild these systems, but we need to be shaping them. Women need to be in those rooms, on those boards, in those areas, creating what will work for us.
Okay, thank you so much. So now my next question, how can entrepreneurship improve economic development in rural communities?
So Mahila Udiami is precise. The Mahila Udiami Foundation
Yeah, yeah.
is a organization that we have in India right now in the village of Aluwamay in Kunda, and Kunda is in Piagraj. And it's pretty remote, and we truly believe that when given access, this is the thing, women in rural areas don't lack resourcefulness, they don't lack capacity, they lack access. Access to education, access to resources, and access to capital. When we bring that into the rural areas, that's what Makilo Diami is doing. We're bringing skill development, we're bringing entrepreneurial education, we're bringing digital inclusion, which is very important. If women are not connected, if women are not participating right now in the digital world, they are not really expressing what 50% of the population of the world needs and wants. So definitely Mahila Udiami works in rural areas, and we bring access. We bring access as electricity, we bring access as education, we bring access as computer literacy, we bring access as financial literacy. And most
Yeah.
importantly, we also bring women's health care. When women are mentally and physically sound of health, then anything can happen. And again, like I said before, when you invest in women, communities prosper. So this is an investment that all countries should be doing right now, this moment, if they want to grow in their economic development. If they don't want to grow and they want to stay as is, don't invest in women. But I have news for them. Women will invest in themselves and women will grow. I think there was a time when everybody realized the power of women and they were very afraid. So they decided to set us aside. They decided to not give us the tools that we needed in order to live to our fullest potential. We don't need that anymore. We now know that we learn just as fast. We now know that we're just as smart. We now know that we're just as strong. The only difference right now is that women can create life and men can't. Women populate the world. Men can't do that.
Yeah, that's
So
great.
again, we continue to show not that we're superior, but that we were made for so much more that what the majority of women are doing around the world. When you think about it, women in the labor force is only 30 to 35%. Where's the rest of the women? They're working in informal economies. That means they're getting paid under the table to do the work so they don't get any benefits. So again, this is a system that was not made for women, but it's time for us to step up, make the table if we're not invited, bring the chair in if we're not asked to sit. Not just create a new table, but the truth is that Mujer Emprende Latina and Maquila Udiami truly believe that women are part of the infrastructure of any growing company. I mean, any growing and emerging country, and that it stops today. We no longer will accept that we are the weaker sex. We'll no longer accept traditions that oppress. We celebrate and we respect traditions that are culturally important, but will never oppress women, will never take away their human rights. And women rights are human rights. All women around the world should have access to education, to shelter, to food. So in Mahila Odiami and Mujer Emprende Latina, we always say women deserve to live free in dignity and prosperity. So if you really think about it, this is the moment. It's a great moment to be a woman in this world today. It's a great moment to step out. It's a great moment to lead. It's a great moment to ask for connections around the world to support you. You are no longer alone. You're no longer oppressed. This is your moment to really give back to the community that you love and to the nation that saw you being born. So I truly believe and I have a lot of faith in what women can do. As an entrepreneur, I continue to say that it's the best way for women to work and to create wealth, but also an entrepreneurial spirit will help you in any position that you're given.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much for it for your answer. So now my next question is from you, that what strategies do you use to build international partnerships successfully?
Okay, can you ask the question again?
Okay, what strategies do you use to build international partnerships successfully?
Okay, so what strategies do I use in order to develop international partnerships?
Yes.
Is that what you asked? So I am a partner with an Indian businessman, and I think that the number one strategy is respecting his culture. It's respecting his traditions, right? And also realizing that I don't have to be him, and he doesn't have to be me, and that we both bring different things to the table that actually make one great product, and that product is our business. So creating international alliances and collaboration is key. And I think the most important thing is realizing that no matter what our religion is, what our creed is, what our gender is, what our circumstances are, we need to accept the other person. We need to accept the other point of view. Definitely, global collaboration is the most important thing in the world today. If we want to continue to grow, if we want to continue to see a world that is environmentally friendly, that is ethically sourcing, a world that respects all genders, and that allows all humans to live to their fullest potential, we need to collaborate, all of us together.
Okay, thank you so much. How do you connect education with entrepreneurship development?
Okay, so education is the key to everything. Education is the most important pillar to eradicate poverty. When we are allow people to be educated, and this individuals, children, we are giving them the tools they need in order to thrive, not survive. And that's a big difference. A lot of the world is surviving today, but they're not thriving. Education brings that economic success factor. 273 million children are out of school right now. Of these, 180 million are girls, just because they're girls, for no other reason, just because they're girls. So it's really important that we realize that this is a number that is growing. 2 years ago, we were at 240 million. Today, we're at 273 million due to the conflicts around the world, right? So we need to find solutions so our kids can continue to become educated. IIU, International Internship University, is a digital platform that was created in 2021, and it provides free access to quality education to anybody who has a device and Wi-Fi. World Education Policy, which I'm the president of, is a consortium of stakeholders. We have teachers, we have civic organizations, we have politicians, we have government, we have grassroots movements, and we have NGOs that look at the educational policies around the world and make sure that these are being reinforced. The United Nations has 195 countries that participate. Not all of these countries have their children in school. There should be laws that make every child accessible to school. So education, again, is the key. It's the key to open a door for every person to grow from poverty to upward mobility. And of course, there are people that are hungry and in and wanting to do things and wanting to get, and they probably never went to school. But let me tell you, that is very rare. Education is so important for us to leave poverty around aside and eradicate poverty. So, World Education Policy looks for ways to eradicate barriers to education. And once you eradicate barriers to education, you eradicate poverty.
Thank you so much for your wonderful answer, and I really appreciate. So, what role does innovation play in a sustainable economic growth?
So, without innovation, there is no growth. That is the bottom line. If a country is not innovating constantly, there is no growth. If the company is not innovating constantly, there's no growth. If an entrepreneur is not innovating constantly, there is no growth. So, innovation, really evolving what exists into something better, really involving what exists into something that would allow all of us to participate is the key. So, let's say right now we're talking about AI. AI has been around for a long time. We've been using it in our banks, we've been using it in our social media, but now it's available to us. If AI is not accessible to everyone, then it's an innovation that's incomplete. it's an innovation that will not live up to its fullest potential because not everybody has access. So the most important thing about innovation is that it needs to be there so we evolve as a company, as a community, as a country, as a nation, as a world. We need to continue to educate. We need to continue to look at our problems as opportunities. We need to continue to allow women, invite them in. Women are the number one problem solver in the world. Women are the best innovators. Why? Because women bring life to the world. So women have to figure out how to survive and how to protect that life, right? That they bring into the world. So mostly we are already equipped to really solve our problems. We are number one in problem solving. And the key to great innovation is improving things, growing things, and really transforming what already exists. So women are definitely supposed to be able. So the day that women are inserted completely in our education system, women are completely inserted in our economic system, we will definitely see innovation continue to thrive.
This was so great. I mean, I really appreciate this for you. And what you are doing is it related for women's, right? So, how did you connect with your this brand? I didn't know, but please tell me your Indian names, Mahila, and I can pronounce another one name.
So I the majority of my businesses are between Latin America, US, and India. So I have a lot of businesses in India already as an entrepreneur, and I actually have land in India. Where we have built the Mahila Udiami Foundation Business Hub. So we were looking for a name that resonated with my NGO in America, which is called Mujer, Emprende, Latina. And Mahila Udiami means the same thing, but in Hindi. And I have to say that India being the largest populated country in the world makes it a great testing ground for anything. And I figured out that why would I not have Mahila Udiami's HQ headquarters in India, where we have so many women, so many villages, so many 60% of women in India or more live in rural areas. And we are all about helping women realize that they are leaders, you know? So rural women lead in Mahila Udiami. We believe this, we know this, and the majority of our women live in rural areas. So Mahila Udiami's name was really a woman entrepreneur. You know, really women undertaking anything and getting it done. And in Mujer Emprende Latina, and in Mahila Udiami, we don't see women as intervention. We don't see women as a charity. We see women, definitely they're a cause because right now women are underrepresented and underserved. Nonetheless, we see women as infrastructure for any economy. And this is how we treat it. We take it seriously and we bring the tools that are needed in order to create the systems that will support women. And this is the most important thing.
Okay, thank you so much for your wonderful answers. So, what leadership qualities are essential for global entrepreneurs?
So definitely adaptability is number one. We need to be adaptable. Things change every single day. Our world is constantly evolving, constantly changing. So adaptability is key. Number two, we need to have great communication skills. We need to understand each other. We need to know how to articulate, how to speak, how to make ourselves known. And communication is not only words, communication is verbal also and nonverbal communication. So definitely it's very, very important. And then some really important skills that will help us anywhere. And those are compassion, that's empathy. These are skills that we can grow, that we can harness, that we can use. But definitely, I would say that the four most important skills for any entrepreneur that's thinking of expanding, number one for sure is adaptability. You need to understand that your way is not the only way. So number two, communication. How do you communicate with others is really the key to your success. Number three, compassion. We need to understand what other people are going through. And number four, empathy. We need to put ourselves in their shoes, and we need to continue to see the world as one. One human race, one planet. And if we get this right, we can do anything.
Yeah, you were right. One human, one planet, human planet. Thank you. So now my next question is from you. How can young people prepare themselves for international business opportunity?
So the best way to grow for to international opportunities is just really getting out there. What you're doing is part of it. Going to networking events and really reaching out to people that are not in your circle. The best way to grow is to really reach out to people that are not related to you, that are not in your community, that are step out. So look, and now with technology, there's so many ways that we can contribute, collaborate, and cooperate on an international level. And that will lead to other opportunities. So continue doing what you do. I mean, I'm all the way in Puerto Rico. And where are you? Where are you? Are you in India? Where?
Okay, thank you
I
so
can't hear.
much. So let's have another question. So my last question: how do you see the future of global entrepreneurship evolving in the next 2 decades?
So AI is going to play an incredible role
Yeah.
in global entrepreneurship. And for those that are still afraid of it, you shouldn't. You should embrace it. AI will always be led by humans. AI is a machine. Of course, it learns a lot. It learns what we teach them. Remember that. AI learns what we teach them. So, it's going to become so much easier. It's going to become so much easier to do our market analysis. It's going to be so much easier to do competitive analysis. It's going to be so much easier to do studies and really create the data that is needed in order for us to continue to grow. So I can definitely learn about India using AI right now in order to create a product that is going to be great for them because I need to know how to prompt. So the most important thing is that we need to realize that in global entrepreneurship, AI will be king, but humans will be the masters of all because we control AI, we create AI,
Yeah.
and it's based on our prompting that we get what AI gives us. So I think the most important thing is that as global entrepreneurs, as social entrepreneurs, as female entrepreneurs, all entrepreneurs, we need to understand that the world will evolve, that there's still five, I would say, five important leadership skills that AI could never imitate and that only humans can do. And like I said before, adaptability, communication. We
Yes. Yes.
communicate in a nonverbal way. A machine can't do that. They can't do that. We can, right?
Exactly.
Um, and
Yeah. Yeah. You are
I'm
right.
So the truth is that with AI, we will continue to grow. Entrepreneurs will have so many more opportunities. And believe me, many times we think that they're here to replace us. They're here to replace the things that humans don't need to do. AI will never replace the things that only humans can do. So we need to get better at what makes us human. We need to get better at what makes us different and use AI to our advantage, use the technology to our advantage, use connectivity to our advantage. All these are are innovations that are now things that we need in order to live, right? But the truth is that if all of this was gone, an entrepreneurial spirit would never be killed, will never be gone. That is something that's within us. That is something that's inside, and no machine could ever imitate
Okay, thank you so much. So, thank you so much for coming in my show. So, let's end this. Allah Hafiz. Bye bye.